And our next story comes from Britain. It is mourning the demise of its monarch and bracing itself for the era of its new one. King Charles III, he was proclaimed Britain's king on Saturday. And this afternoon, he addressed the British Parliament, where he was greeted with the first rendition of God Save the King in over 70 years. Meanwhile, farewell processions for the Queen continue. They will last till next Sunday, post which the Queen will be laid to rest. Our next report telling you more.
Four days since Queen Elizabeth II passed away, Britain remains in a state of mourning. Tributes are piling up outside Buckingham Palace. British citizens are observing 2-minute silence, and condolences are pouring in from all over the world. Indonesia, the Bahamas, even the United Arab Emirates. Several countries around the world are paying their respects to Britain's former monarch, at the same time extending their wishes to the new one. King Charles III. On Monday morning, he addressed lawmakers and peers in the British Parliament, promising to follow the example set by his mother.
My lords and members of the House of Commons, we gather today in remembrance of the remarkable span of the Queen's dedicated service to her nations and peoples. While very young, Her late Majesty pledged herself to serve her country and her people, and to maintain the precious principles of constitutional government which lie at the heart of our nation. This vow she kept with unsurpassed devotion. She set an example of selfless duty, which, with God's help and your counsels, I am resolved faithfully to follow.
As the King concluded his speech, the UK's national anthem followed, only that the word Queen in the anthem was replaced by King. This marked the first time in 70 years that God Save the King was sung publicly. This was followed by a public procession, a procession of the Queen's coffin, led by King Charles in Edinburgh. A short while later, the King did something unusual. He stopped by at the Holyrood Palace to greet his and his mother's well-wishers. The mourning period will last till September 18th. On the 19th, the Queen will be laid to rest in a state funeral at Westminster Abbey, the first state funeral in 6 decades. Who will be attending it? Besides British royals and lawmakers, there will be over 500 world leaders and foreign dignitaries in attendance. The list includes New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, Japan's Emperor Naruhito, and Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, among several others. Interestingly, none of the attendees will be accorded special privileges. They will all be transported in private buses. The palace has also issued several other interesting guidelines. It has asked people coming to the funeral to be dressed in suitable clothing, avoid selfies with the coffin, and not cause trouble. A subtle jibe at those protesting the monarchy's crimes all over the world. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.